what you know about yourself that others don't, what both you and others know about you, and so on. Now, Philip, he said, if you take away what you know about yourself, whether other people know it or not, you're left with two things. That which is unknowable about you, and that which other people know about you but you don't know about yourself. It's that last category that each of us ought to concentrate on. We should learn what others can teach us about ourselves. I resisted the temptation to fill him in on the stuff about himself that all of us in the office knew but couldn't bring ourselves to say for fear of losing our paychecks, and I thanked him for his forepained wisdom. And then years later, I thought about that drawing and realized that there was something interesting to be learned from it, if you knew which pain to concentrate on. There are things about you that no one knows, including yourself. But where my boss was dead wrong was in saying that those things aren't knowable. Just because you're not aware of things that exist within you, deep in your unconscious, doesn't mean that you can't tease them out and learn from them. In fact, doing so is absolutely crucial to understanding both why you're attracted to certain people and why, over time, relationships that start out as blissful and almost carefree can disintegrate into stressful, pain-producing partnerships. Like most people, you probably believe that you've made love choices, that is, chosen both short-term and long-term romantic partners, largely based on surface stuff such as looks or a sense of humor or social acceptability. What you probably haven't realized is that there are all kinds of things going on beneath that surface having to do with the deepest parts of your unconscious. So you may be reacting to an attractive face, but you're also reacting to things deep within another's personality that bring out unconscious responses deep within your personality. It's those responses, both positive and negative, that can pull you strongly into relationships quite quickly and then pull those relationships apart over time. The good news is that even though they might seem mysterious, those unconscious responses are really quite predictable, and that predictability can give us clues as to what causes them. Armed with those clues, we can dig into our own personalities and begin to understand and change the things about us that make us attracted to people who aren't really right for us, or that sabotage what should be a stable and loving relationship with someone to whom in most ways we're very well suited. Let me introduce you to our guide through all of this, Dr. Bernie Katz. As both a couples therapist and a professor of psychology for the last 4 decades, Bernie has worked with countless people in various stages of romantic partnership, from couples who are wondering about making a serious commitment to each other to couples who have been married for decades. Through that work, Bernie has encountered just about every relationship woe you can imagine, and several that you probably can't, for which you should be very, very grateful. What Bernie has found, and what we'll cover in the chapters that follow, is that from the very earliest days of any romantic relationship, a person can find enough information to predict accurately whether that relationship will ultimately be satisfying or full of conflict. The trick, of course, is knowing what signs to look for and how to read them. Here's the good news. Even if you discover that the signs you got early in your relationship, which, like most folks, you probably ignored, should have sent you packing, it's not too late to turn your conflicted relationship into a happy one. Though my friend Sarah refused to get past her blame-laying impulses and into the, well, how can I use what I've learned constructively stage of therapy, it's indeed possible to make changes in yourself that will affect your relationship with your partner for the better. Later on, we'll talk about Bernie's tools for doing just that. First, though, we're going to talk about you. Since personality has everything to do with the success or failure of your relationship, we'll start with how your personality developed. Notice the word developed? Contrary to what your great aunt insisted, it's amazing you're just like your grandmother. Personality is not genetic. You're not born with a set of likes and dislikes, strengths and fears. Those things become part of you through a process that takes in all the social complexities you encounter from the moment you're born. So while you may have your father's eyes, there's no way you've had exactly the same experiences he's had, and there's no way that your personality is exactly the same as his or anyone else's. One of the most important parts of your developed personality is your unconscious, home of the stuff that nobody knows about you, including you. Most of the questions you have about yourself, even the ones that have nothing to do with your love life, such as, why can't I stick to a simple diet, or I know I have to get this work done, so why am I procrastinating, could be answered if only you were able to make your unconscious, well, conscious. Believe it or not, it's possible to begin to do that, and we'll look at ways you can understand and act on the signals that your unconscious is sending you all.